make him second guess whatever decision he's going to make. But if Yago pulls the trigger, get ready.
Well, this is it. This is likely, or could be, his last shot at it. So he's going to go big. You know that. He throws the air. Unbelievable. Sticks the landing. Oh. The turn of the event. Right when he needed it. Oh. This guy has beaten the clock so many times in the past. And he might be on his way to doing it again. Yago Dora with an unbelievable full rotation. Air reverse. So much speed, he loaded up as he flew into that section, and he greased the landing and had more to give as he came down the line. This is a special talent. There's a reason why he's the world champion, and he has shown again that you can't count him out, even when he's chasing a near-perfect ride. What a moment here at the Cero New Zealand Pro, presented by Bonsoy. Leandro da Silva, his coach, he knows it's good.
What have we just witnessed?
You've got to make comparisons to what you've seen already in this heat. And Houshmand was watching on there. He saw every bit of Yago flying through the sky, and the scores are rolling through. He's slapping his board. Get ready for it. It's a unanimous, perfect 10-point ride.
We knew. You could feel the 10 right there. That was that is a historic wave in surfing that we just witnessed.
Man, there is some incredible surfers here in New Zealand. Manu Bay, I don't know if they've ever seen anything like that. That was monster.
Yeah, is there a better wave that's ever been surfed out here? You have to ask the question, and we will shortly when we get our special guest in the booth. But honestly, I was saying no after that end.
Alyssa Spencer, as Carissa Moore and Bella Kenworthy now move into the second half of their heat. Well, they'll have ultimate priority. Carissa already with a 6.33 and a 7.67. Find some space to square up and really surfing the pocket of this wave beautifully. And let's have a look at the replay here, Vaughan.
This is awesome. That first turn, perfect. And drove through it as well. And you can just see the amount of water she's moving off the rails. And as this thing steepens up, pushes it just that little bit further, doesn't lose any speed whatsoever. And it's really just impressive that this whole wave was put together.
Toledo with the stronger start, 6.83, but Junker not too far behind and deep on the ledge here. Toledo starts with a beautiful floater, and he combos it up with some great release, attacking the pocket. This is already on its way to a better score than his first, and he makes the most of that falling lip, really climbs on top of it beautifully. And like Richie identified, he has gone to a less traditional shape here, and this board seems to be working beautifully. And that's a big risk to take. But Toledo obviously just feeling very confident as he annihilates the final section and then calls for the ski. This is going to be a big score. Kind of feels like excellent surfing to me.
It really does feel like excellent surfing, and he's gone probably about a K all the way down.
Darren, why don't you take us through this ride?
Yeah, I mean, speed is like an understatement, and this is like one of the biggest waves we've seen in so long, and the way that he just like lined up his maneuvers, he did it so perfectly and got so tight in the pocket and did a really good job at the end to make it. You'll see it here, but yeah, just carrying so much speed throughout this wave and through like the fatter sections, and he went so far. He's like maybe 30-45 second wave. Seems like he's at a wave pool.
Watch this final turn, just clicks and gets that super pivoting action.
The rhythm in this lineup, but during the break we did see George tap into a set himself. Beautiful start there.
Oh, how was that turn as well? Just gets the drift. JP is on fire at the moment. You can see that he's just extending through those turns as well. He gets that little bit of accentuation, I guess, off the bottom and off the top, and he's so effortless and smooth on his backhand. I love watching it. And this event, to me, it's just such a personality flip. It's like you're using the other side of your brain.
Oh, exactly. A completely different approach required. But when someone's in magic touch, they have the confidence, even when they get pushed up against the ropes. And we knew George was looking sharp on those earlier rides, Rich. And Muniz, he needs to hold off the charge of George Pittar. He's going to focus on improving his number as well. Trying to better a 7 here. He looks fast and dialed in as he just gets straight on the attack. The equipment looks really quick under his feet. Keeps rolling down the line here. And this is a real chance at bettering his heat score and potentially pushing the requirement for George Pittar. He knows it. Big flex as he kicks out of that one.
It's hard not to get excited about this because this was such a well-surfed wave. That first turn set him up beautifully for that one. The attack in that, the aggression from Alejo was huge. I mean, he's just gone back to back to back to back again and again and again.
Oh, he's burning rubber on these bottom turns too. He's pushing his board to the point that it's almost wanting to skip out, but he's holding that rail line so beautifully.
He's just always so happy and so excited to learn new things, and that's exactly what he's doing here.
So he started off with a short wave, gave Yago priority. Yago already moved into position, jamming down the line. He's going to give us an early morning reverse in the sunrise. Blasting big sections, power carves on the open face. He is acting like a world champ this morning. Now just fading, waiting for something just to kick out. Starting off with some excitement on his opening ride.
His backhand is so strong, but this was insane from Yago. I mean, this type of surfing really, you could see he identified this section and just absolutely launched, and perfect timing. Really quick feet adjustment there as well to just get back into the pocket and really open up on those last few turns. Love the variety. Each turn had something a little bit different, which we know that the judges are absolutely going to love. And Yago, he's just doing exactly what he does, and there's no surprises there. I mean, the Goofies are definitely excited to be at a left, and you can see that right now.
Look at this angle, seeing the depth of that punt, and just to use that in transition to throw some variety. Brilliant, Jesse.
And even where he landed, it was right on the roof of the wave, so it makes it actually quite tricky to get that one to come back down. But where he's landed, his fins had to re-engage in the steepest part of the wave. So Yago just showing his technique.
You can find waves like this. Yago Dora tracking down the line, building some speed, driving into a nice big open face hook. Back to the lip line, combos it up with a nice snap to slide, arcs it again with total control, leans into another hammer, slinky off the bottom and throwing it into the pocket again. What a rhythm Dora has had first thing in the morning. And he's just dancing with Manu Bay now. It's his playground. We knew he loved the lowers left, but he's inspired by all his options he has on his frontside attack here. 883 was the start. A similar big number is going to be coming his way.
Changes, and it's different each time, and you know, it's those little tweaks and those 1%ers that just factor into big scores. And the speed he carries through this opening carve is huge. Massive turn to that slide there was such a great combination straight into that one. He's just firing through each turn with so much power and electricity, and you can just see he's having so much fun out there. And towards the end of this one, it almost looks like he's smiling. He's just glowing. We saw a beautiful sunrise this morning. It's probably made the morning for him as well. And getting these two waves, I mean, Yago Dora is on fire. And I even think Luke actually might have given him this wave. I think Luke had the priority. So Yago was just licking his lips and he's like, yeah, cool.
Looks like Jack is going to show some interest in this wave. One of the biggest waves we've seen all day.
It's a good-looking wall for Robinson, an easy choice with priority. And he just absolutely hammered the opening sections here and continues to just lay down big hooks. Plenty of spray coming off the rail. Got a nice flow. You can see that bump on the face. Tricky to negotiate for the competitors, but Robinson's done well here.
5.9 is what he's after. Let's have a look. The wave stands up. Jack blasts off the top, gets some release off that first turn, so very committed. Judges love that when you take that higher risk maneuver at the start of the wave. And down the line here, more of the same. Just a beautiful flow, even though there's all this sort of opposing bump and chatter on the wave face that the lower body compression will hopefully get to one of those in perhaps the next heat.
Good looking set here for the Tahitian. Drives down the line here. This wave opens up. There's some hammer in that turn. Really leaning in on the carve. and pushing the board to the point of release. Digs in again, just a little stuck on the rail for a moment, but cleans it up with a couple more hits on the inside. And Vaast is going to try and fight his way back into this heat. And not done with it yet. Hammering away, just really trying to extract everything he can out of this ride, knowing full well Jack Robinson has put him up against the ropes. Well, this wave's really done wonders for him.
What happens here? Let's have a look at it. On the forehand, streaking for speed, low and compressed. A little lip tap down the line. Now he jams it, gets a better angle on that one. This turn here, just so much power and rail engagement. Then he gets a little kind of layback hack into a big carb there. A tiny little catch at the final moment of that rotation. And then he weaves this one all down the line, and we know it stands up again. He gets a couple more snaps through this lower section, but a couple of these turns through the middle here. Look at that.
Wow.
Just full rail commitment. And this one here in particular. See how he threw the back arm in? That allowed him to just tighten the pivot arc.
You can see even the backside carve under the lip she did before. She wasn't able to square up like this, Joe.
Big backhand snap on a big wall for Carissa. Nice top turn. Surfing that ledge part of the wave. You can see it has more of a bowl before it goes full and flat here. And Carissa identified the good sections to work with. Can she get an inside grower? She does. Beautiful speed turn. Riss goes for the climb and gets it. Filling in all of her points well. That little whitewater wedge is always going to keep you in the wave, and she uses it to great effect and finds the lip to hit again. Carissa going all the way down to the boat ramp.
Mate, this is a joy to watch. We are watching one of the greatest of all time. Light up Manu Bay right now.
One more blast. She found a section. She might go right. What an effort.
Is that the boat ramp right? Is that how fast she went?
It's got to be one of the longest waves of the event.
With a critical finish turn.
And tide's starting to fill back in this evening, Con.
This is just a work of art, this wave. I mean, a little bit of a catch there, but just everything screams class, doesn't it? You know, every turn is just where it should be. The flow is undeniable, and it just keeps on standing up. And that's just a speedy turn, you know, like everything is just placed so beautifully here. Stays with it there through this little flat section. But, you know, these wide ones, they haven't really been standing up, but she just finds so many opportunities to unleash. And this is just one of those Arvo sessions where the body's free and everything is just feeling perfectly in sync. An amazing performance here from Carissa. It's a 10-minute heat, Joe. Like, both women had not caught a wave with roughly 10 minutes to go. Wow, what a finish too.
Every section that popped up, she lit it up, and going the distance, you could see her husband Luke throwing the shaka. 4-10 is happening all season. We'll give you that Yeti cooler. Yago swinging for one now. Snap in the pocket, real stylish as well. Second carve, brilliant. Super smooth with that carve to tail release. A la Corey Lopez. And now leaning into that one off the lip. Dora attacking the next section. Board from Lost Surfboards looks magic. He's waving to the fans and, well, waving to the water patrol as well, because he knows he gets a free ride if he wants it. He said, hang on, I'm not ready for the pickup yet. Still want to throw another snap by the boat ramp. Jams it off the top again. Is he going to go for something above the lip? He forces the reverse and right onto the rocks. There was no water under there.
Here comes the patience that True was talking about earlier for the end of the wave. But the start of this had so much fireworks, so much just finger-licking good surfing. This is exactly what you want to see on a left-hand point break. Variety and just perfect tempo and timing in the perfect pocket of this wave. Yago really found the gear that he was trying to find in this heat.
So much variety with that beautiful style, so much connectivity between turns, and look, he's able to shift gears again, True.
80 minutes to go, and on the outside, Houshmand looking to get rid of a 5.6 here to increase his lead over Leonardo. His last ride didn't go into his top 2, so the situation remains the same for Leo, but this wave might be on its way into Cole Houshmand's account as a keeper. Nice flex of the variety there. So finding the rotation, stomping on the back foot a couple of times, and now just juicing this wave for any extras down the line. And this one starting to slow up a little bit, but Cole, who gets plenty of practice on the forehand back home, just continues to tap away at this one with a series of smaller inside hits. Bit of a wobble off the bottom there, so he's out of it.
As we watch here, just gets a quick snap into a more impactful re-entry, comes down, gets the little blowtail reverse, sets the feet again, and connects all the way through this inside section until he gets to that big power hack again. Love how he's just utilising that layback sort of technique through those big power turns. And then mimicking a little inside lowers left, running along the cobblestones. Gets a bit of tidy work here. Again, kind of amazed at how such a big lad can just stay agile and keep moving.
To get back into this battle, some to and fro exchanges unfolding. Italo on the outside now. Wow, a lot of spark and a little bit of release in the tail, and a whole lot more on that move. Italo just looking super fit and explosive here as he swings. Maybe a better version of that same turn down the line. And this wave standing up nicely, bowling through the inside. Incredible tail slide there. Really got the board. Turned right back to the beach, and an interesting grab to maintain control through these final turns. Italo really is flaring up, throws the little shove it. He's going to ride out.
Well, I go back to my earlier statement. Little stumble, but tidies it up well. Cut back. Sits on the tail for a minute, and then he does a more inverted tail flare.
The beaches here, and they found some of that. As we see on the outside, live action, Sawyer Lindblad just on a heater here at the moment. Already a couple of 7s in the bag and really starting to click and find a great flow here in this lineup. Smooth surfing, keeping those rails clean, even with that texture on the surface as she rips into another carve. You can see just, I mentioned it before, the application of pressure halfway through these cars where she just puts that head down and really digs in, applying a lot of pressure to the tail of the board. And obviously, it's a really good piece of equipment because she finds acceleration from the board when she does it.
Yeah, absolutely. Working closely with Sawyer Lindblad. Let's have a look here at the replay. Just a beautiful carve off the top. This one here just brings it all the way down, holds that rail line through the carve into a clean snap, and then some more open face work. Super clean rails. And Ron, it feels to me like there's just a slight difference in the speed.
Her forehand has so much variety. Her backhand is looking pretty deadly. She's going to surf that last wave up. There's another coming through, and now Bettylou is going to need to respond here. She seems to be surfing with a whole lot of speed as she hammers down the line here. Nice hit off the top there. And this wave standing up beautifully, and Betty just has a fantastic rhythm. Big blast there, sending a huge sheet of spray up into the lineup. Light starting to pop here this afternoon as Bettylou takes this opening ride right through to the inside, and it just keeps cupping out and giving her the opportunity to let go of quality turns. She slaps the thighs, knowing that she's put a good score on the board here.
Kind of feels excellent. It plays so much sting just sitting on the bottom turn. Let's check the replay here. Just guns for speed down the line. It's these turns here, Ronnie, as she comes through this midsection. Watch her sit on the bottom turn here. Connects with the lip there, sits on it again, drives hard off the bottom and off the top. These moments here, incredible. Just sending so much spray off the top of the wave. Beautiful form as she extends and releases off the lip here. Again, drive. Look how much tilt is on the board as she drives through the bottom turn. That's creating all that speed. Speed is everything. And great angle here from the water. Opens the shoulders up. Great upper body rotation. Stays nice and compressed over the front foot.
Wow.
See how they go, and right away we'll go straight into replays for Carissa's first one, and she's taking her time, gaining some speed. Love this view of the first wave of Carissa Moore. Beautiful first turn there. Gets her fins free. And again for a second one, Carissa is really lighting it up. You can see going to the rail as that wave starts to fatten out a little bit. Carissa just standing on the tail, waiting for this one to open up, and she's just looking lethal at the moment. She had a beautiful heat before, and that first turn just packed so much punch. You can see her fins on her bottom turn as well, just how much she's leaning into the rail. So she's open.
Carissa Moore using up priority here. She's going to tag this first section. Good looking wall down the line. Great looking second turn here for Carissa Moore. There's the third. Goes to the rail, but still such a convincing swoop on the third. Let's see if this one bowls back for her on the inside. You can see a little bit of a wobble here, but it might help her. Gets funky with it. Gives us a reverse through the inside, and that's going to be all she wrote on that wave there for Carissa Moore, but she just looks so comfortable. My name is Jessie Starling. I'm joined in the booth by True Starling and Matt Biolis, but
learning the trade. So, yeah.
I love it. Family all amongst the business. Truzy, this last wave of Carissa Moore.
How's this turn? Oh, you can even see that extra little bit that she gets on that first turn. Carissa is really opening up right now, and I love this backside, just fierce approach that we're seeing from Carissa right now. It's not very often that you see consistent lefts, and you see her having fun as well. Even that big smile, Carissa's enjoying her time, but this turn was so smooth, and that extra drift, I love that. I love that extra bit, and straight off the bottom, really opening up the shoulders. Beautiful technical surfing from Carissa Moore. And
to have a swing at this wave. It has a good amount of size to it. Maybe not the biggest set wave. Let's see how the shape goes here for Caroline Marks.
Yeah.
Good first turn. Let's see her drive hard into a second one. Maybe just slightly missed time. That's a better looking third turn here. She's going to put it on rail for the fourth. Let's see it bowl out through the inside. Caroline Marks is going for a big section here. This is what we wanted to see from her. There's that big blowtail. Drifts the fins again. She's giving this wave absolutely everything here. This wave is going to keep on going through the inside. She's just going to keep tagging it, because why not? Caroline Marks needs a 939.
3.9 is a big ask. Let's take a look at it. Let's review it. Great first turn. She's got that real slice. Just the patience through there. A little mistimed, as you said, Jessie, but it didn't matter because the rest of this was just perfectly timed. Open up the shoulders there. Another nice connection. And then we see her open up. Good turn through there. I love that. You can see her coming down the face of the wave too. I mean, Caroline Marks is on a tear at the moment, and a 939 is what she needs. Another good connection. This wave just offers more and more, and she just is really wringing it dry. I mean, she's trying to get everything out of it. And similar kind of story, but yeah, Griff maybe getting the better.
This is why we waited. Look at this wall. Solid one for Colapinto. Tags it again. With a lot of speed, he'll just knife that warbly little coping that's just lifting on him with that breeze, but crushing his target so well. Griff drives into the pocket. Nice clean snap. Now it's going to really fill up, and he'll quickly call for the Red Bull ski to do another lap here in Manu Bay. 783 under the priority of Filipe Toledo. We're watching what Kaipo was looking at. What a crazy wave there to really extend his lead over Toledo, Kipes.
Really, everything's going Griffin's way right now, Joe, and some just punches on the backhand there, getting the fins out the back. But, you know, I also have a thought that there's no real bad kind of sessions. There's sometimes just bad equipment choices. And I'm thinking about the equipment right now. During the hold, Filipe Toledo actually took out a swallowtail quad, and that looked good on Toledo. He's sticking with this 2+1.
Griffin doesn't want it. He'll let Filipe roll, but it's got a smooth face. That'll work well with this Sharp Eye surfboard. 2+1, already ripping some big sections. Nice control on the arc, right into a bottom turn, crushes it vertically. Critical section again. Toledo is finding his magic. Tagging it again, and he is fired up.
Yeah, there it is.
just woke up a giant after a few falls, trying to find his rhythm. A lot of chop on the sets that he fell on.
Dropping that 7.83.
And then the comparison to Toledo, Rick.
Yeah, well, both of these waves actually feel excellent. Some variety with Toledo here, just connecting with that lip perfectly, and more of a expressive carve, big elongated bottom turn on these. Oh gosh, these carves down the line are just ferocious. You could tell there was a different connection to this wave than his previous waves, and he's all fired up because of it. Just really toying with the lip there. That moment where he's just sort of hovering and drifting in perfect control. Filipe driving hard off the bottom, but I like these extended bottom turns. Bit more of a carve off the top on that one. Great angle here. You can actually just see the bottom of the board totally disconnecting with the wave face. And again,
Griffin on the next one. And he's shown some signs of a little emotion there, so he might have done something out the back while Filipe was riding. We'll show you that in a moment. Here's a little tag there, getting close to the boat ramp. And just putting every part of this insider away. He is a great surfer in 1 foot conditions, because there's a wave called T Street that he's been surfing his entire life. And that canvas can get funky, it could go flat, it could bowl on you on surprise, so he's ready to adapt to anything.
I'm excited to see what Griffin did at the start of this wave. He obviously loved it. Gears up, high lines on this first section, just drifts that tail. He really does have that turn on lock. Doing it again, but slightly under the lip. I just love the variety he's given, pushing harder each and every time. Backside floater into yet another big tail drift carve here. Oh, snap, I should say. And then just through this inside section, this is where we see that energy, that emotion start to pour out of Griff. And he went to town through this inside. I mean, you can see he doesn't have to wind up as hard as he did out the back, because this wave slightly smaller through the inside. But even with that, these turns still have so much velocity to him and just aggression in it as well. So Griff
needs a 7.9. Whoa. Big carve to start off the top. Big belt there, putting a lot into that power hack. So far, so good. Cibilic crushes it vertically. How's this transition? Throws it off the top again. Driving into a big section there. Cibilic stays on his feet.
Keep going. Keep going.
Already celebrating. Jesse's going, remember, there's a little inside corner to play with, and there it is now. Back to business. He's fallen on this end section turn a few times. Not now, though. Morgan looks for one more snap, and now stands tall. What a crazy finish to quarterfinal number 2. Oh,
wow. And Morgan Cibilic has just teed off on it. So let's just break it down here. Big wave, draws hard off the bottom, open carve to start things off, squares it up, gets the drift on the second. So to this point, perfect surfing. Gets it up there, almost vertical, drives hard off the bottom again, ropes it around, gets straight on that bottom turn again, and clicks with the lip to bring it down. 7.9 is what he needs, almost excellence.
On offer, and some surfers haven't had as clean a surf as Yago, but there's no denying the form he's in. Here goes Houshmand now on his first real opportunity. Very strong layback jam, putting it all on the back foot. This young gun who's come onto the CT, already collected a couple of championship tour wins, unleashes once again, drives up into the pocket, swings the tail, answering beautifully, and he needed to. Yago turned in a 7.5 on that second ride, and Cole is answering now. He's going to bring this one through to the inside. And just like Yago, has a lot of variety in his surfing on his forehand, and maybe had a little bit more punch in those first couple of hits. So this could go pretty high on the scale as he brings it through to the inside with a little ollie there, claps his hands, and his heat is officially underway.
Oh, these guys know when they've put something meaningful on the board. He's a slugger. If he starts getting into fight mode, he'll just start bashing, and that's what he's done here. Look at that first turn. But don't underestimate the connection in this guy's surfing either. He's really smooth. That turn there, it just was a little flat, so he puts a little poke on it. Straight into this huge tail blow. And that is a massive series of major turns. Every single one of those things sent chills across the lineup, across the rocks here at Manu Bay. That turn there, high risk. As Richie Lovett said earlier, that lip line is chunky custard, and he is just gobbling it up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100 kilos. There's a lot behind each of these moves, but incredible when he wants to find that drift, how much control he has under that big rig. It does remind me of Luke Egan, who he used to work with, working with another goofy footer now in Doug Silver.
Yeah, and it's looking good, doesn't he? He looks free. And, you know, you were saying before, yeah, Yago does love this place. Well, Cole's going to be in love with it as well.
Yeah, more set waves rolling in. Cole on the inside. An easy decision to take this one. It's shaping up nicely from the outset. Drives up into the first section. Nice power hit, but keeps that down the line flow to set up this reverse. Pokes the tail in and gets the rotation. Now back into the open face and letting go of some solid rail turns. The judges are going to love that power to release. Couple of times now. Will this wave find that connection through to the inside? He's going to give it every chance as he starts to get the swivel hips going. Houshmand, 25 years of age, from San Clemente, California, loading up for more. And finds plenty of spark through these inside sections, and just like Yago, swings the tail and gives a bit of flair on the inside, and he's celebrating too. Great exchange here.
Surfing from the powerhouse.
Thank you, Kipes. Yeah, goofy footer who's just loving this matchup. In fact, all goofy footers in the bottom side of the draw. Here's the replay of Cole's last ride bomb.
It was just incredible work to pull that tail out. He really hit a bump, but then he just unloads down the point here. And these turns are just all throwing it every single bit of weight. And as you say, big bodies on this wave face, they are really working.
Inspirational for a couple of big rigs in here in the booth too. You can move a 100-kilo rig around. We've got to get moving.
It's good to know.
He needs a 6.1 out of this wave, Vaughn. It feels like it's going to go there and some.
Definitely. Where is it going to go? I can't even say. Like, there's been such top-quality surfing here. But look at this. Deep, hits the section. It's not the cleanest air in the world, but you know, able to pull it around, continue down the line with speed. That turn was massive. And a little point of difference, just a touch of tail release as well. He'll jam that through the lip again and come through. So he's matching. Make him second guess whatever decision he's going to make. But, if Yago pulls the trigger, get ready.
Well, this is it. This is likely, or could be, his last shot at it. So he's going to go big. You know that. He throws the air. Unbelievable. Sticks the landing. The turn of the event. Right when he needed it. This guy has beaten the clock so many times in the past. And he might be on his way to doing it again. Yago Dora with an unbelievable full rotation. Air reverse. So much speed, he loaded up as he flew into that section, and he greased the landing and had more to give as he came down the line. This is a special talent. There's a reason why he's the world champion, and he has shown again that you can't count him out, even when he's chasing a near-perfect ride. What a moment here at the Corona Cero New Zealand Pro, presented by Bonsoy. Leandro da Silva, his coach, he knows it's good.
What have we just witnessed?
You've got to make comparisons to what you've seen already in this heat. And Cole Houshmand was watching on there. He saw every bit of Yago flying through the sky. And the scores are rolling through. He's slapping his board. Get ready for it. It's a unanimous, perfect 10-point ride.
We knew. You could feel a 10 right there. That was that is a historic wave in surfing that we just witnessed.
Man, there is some incredible surfers here in New Zealand. Manu Bay, I don't know if they've ever seen anything like that. That was monster.
Yeah, is there a better wave that's ever been surfed out here? You have to ask the question, and we will shortly when we get our special guest in the booth. But honestly, I was saying no after that air.
Here we go, some movement on the outside. It is going to be Italo And much like Yago, has so many tricks he can go to. Loading up for something big. Gets the rail grab. And he's going to stick a buttery landing as well. Nice rail turn there to combo it up. In fact, 3 beautiful turns to start at a 4th. And he's on his way to an excellent ride. And he flexes the tail, gets some release there. And this wave standing up pretty nicely through the inside as well. His boards have looked so sharp at different stages throughout the season. He found something magic down here in New Zealand, and he's going to take this one right through to the inside. Wouldn't be surprised if he finds a little pop here on the inside as well. Still flaring away, but the opening combination is where the points were as he kicks out there on the inside.
Take it off, obviously, deep up the point, waiting for that initial section at the start of the wave, and he just, again, following Yago's lead, just hucks it into the wind and straight off the bottom into a nice little carve down and sets up for a little drop the wallet here. And then, obviously, he's holding his speed really well through that chop, and, I mean, it's a pretty complete wave here.
Mate, the adrenaline spike that he must get after landing something just so dynamic and off chops is like, it's there to see. You know, he just goes to town once that thing opens up for him on the inside.
He is always a little energy.
Sawyer Lindblad, this was very well played. Alyssa loves the inside at the start. Sawyer kept her cool, got the second wave of the set, and wow, that was a massive turn from Sawyer. Holds that calves so strong and beautifully down through the power source there. Bit of a moment where she can decide if she wants to breathe or not, but she doesn't. She goes full power mode. Full foot down on the throttle from start to finish on this wave, and the judges absolutely loving it too. It cleans up and starts cooking, and she's on yet another bomb.
5-time world champ crushes the first section again. Glassy Manu Bay once again for Riss. Perfect bottom turn, nice wrapping cutback off the top. Jams it again, nice flow, nice rhythm. She's been scoring the late afternoon glass off in all of her heats here at Manu Bay. And they're so thrilled that she's back here in Aotearoa. Let's look at this one again.
Wow, crazy first turn. Just the drift off the coping into another big turn. Then she drives into that last turn, the third one. The fourth one with just as much power too. I love the fact as well, she knew, hey, job well done, I'm going to get out of here. But look at that bottom turn, that hand, those fingers dragging in the wall as she's driving up into that lip line. That gives her so much power to be able to open up as much as she is right now. And just like I was talking about earlier, those bottom turns you could see starting from behind the foam, which is why Carissa is finding the pocket so much easier than everyone.
But very busy in between heats these days, enjoying her time through motherhood as she's tracking down the line. Wrists loading up. Big backside snap, plenty of wall to play with here. Big hammer there, extending the bottom turn, tagging every target beautifully. A 5-time world champ, Olympic gold medalist, one of the best ever to compete on her comeback story in 2026. Just playing with this inside now after absolutely devastating so many big sections to start that one off. She even has time to wave to her daughter. And now back to business.
Which was definitely done out the back. Similar story for Carissa Moore. This was just 3 big turns back to back here. So vertical and critical. Again, just sitting in the perfect spot to do her bottom turns, and then to go upside down, get the amount of release she is getting as well. Carves it through. For those, this is kind of the exclamation, the full stop at the end of the ride here. I love that she waved to her daughter here as well. Similar to what we saw from Bettylou, just a couple of snaps and carves through this inside, but a lot of damage done from both women out the back.
That is just the best display of back and forth in pro surfing, just 2 different generations. It is on the final day of the waiting period. But let's just enjoy this. Carissa Moore putting together an unbelievable performance at Manu Bay.
What?
Crushing sections. Can do no wrong and being pushed so hard by the next generation. Everyone's just on their feet. We mentioned this when, you know, Steph did what she did on the Gold Coast, how sweet it was to see a GOAT return to that kind of form. And we're getting to watch it right now with Carissa Moore coming to Manu Bay and just reminding everybody in the world how much she's given to the sport. A leg burner for Riss. Her 7th wave. She's throwing away 6.5, 7 6.7s. Manu Bay's firing.
I'm not going to lie, I really like this wave. I would love to have her to keep bettering her scoreline right now. How cool would that be? That first turn, you could see she felt there was something pretty special in this wave after that. That second one had so much drift and release, and the third had even more than the second. So it was bettering every single time she went up towards the lip line. Check out this bottom turn. Drives so hard. You can see the drift there from Carissa Moore here, but this second one, hand goes in the water. She drives up with that back arm, drifts up and over again. Carissa Moore can do no wrong on this wave. Just look at that one, just pushing so hard, fins totally disengage and then re-engages.
Some surfers actually call that the trials accidentally. Even it's still the main event, but it's so early in the contest. Carissa backhand still looking so sharp as she drills the lip line multiple times, still swinging for the top of the wave here. Nice, easy, controlled rhythm.
Wow.
She's not chasing sections. She's beautifully in the pocket. All control, all finesse.
But this one from Carissa's was absolutely next level.
Unbelievable control, especially on the first turn, Jess.
It's just so much power, and the very first thing I thought when I was watching this wave was there is no double pump bottom turn. She's going from turn straight back into the bottom turn, going up into the lip again, time and time again on this wave. That criteria of flow, tick. Speed was carried all the way through the inside and absolutely belted it. So had the moment at the start, a big moment at the end.
I'll throw it back to you and we'll come back to Micro in just a second, Joey.
Okay, sounds good. Unless you want to call the first turn, Vaughn.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is Sawyer on the inside and she's picked off a jam. She jams it through the lip. Wow. Oh, hacks back. And this is exactly what she needed after Chris got the best of the first exchange. But this is looking beautiful here. Sawyer finding another gear in the final as she works her way down through Manu Bay on the inside to the cheers of a rapturous crowd. And Glen Micro Hall extremely happy with that wave.
That was goofy pride.
Best number of the matchup so far with 19 minutes to go. Let's enjoy it once again, Jessie.
Great first turn. I mean, straight up into the pocket. So much spray coming off the back, and I totally agree with Micro. I really see a lot of Yago in Sawyer's rail work here. She gets an extra 10-20% out of the second part of her calves. You can see pushes that tail around, really drives hard off that back quad to get that extra 10-20% as well. So Sawyer...
For a little downtime to start as Carissa Moore now loading up. Nice patience there. Then goes up more vertically on the second turn. Slingshot bottom turn, bounce it again. Carissa Moore has an oncoming section. She floats it. The 5-time world champ wraps it. The Hawaiian's just been delivering heat after heat. He's got both finalists here on his surfboards as we watch this one again, Jessie.
I was on the edge of my seat for this wave. I was holding my breath the whole way through. I thought Carissa was bummed on that carve, and then this one just hit the bank perfectly. Massive second turn into that. That's that tail drift we've seen all throughout this week. She combos it up yet again. That turn in particular, I was like, oh my gosh, you cannot fall on that moment if it wanted to go excellent. But just see exactly where she's pinpointing her turns. This is such a textbook way to surf Manu Bay. Exactly what True and I have been saying that Matt mentioned in the booth, just coming from behind here. Look at her almost redirect her turns after she comes off the lip to be in the foam. She knows that's where she gets the power source from. It's where the critical turns for her are coming from, and what a hard place to do a backside floater there. There was so much lump and bump for her to navigate, but Carissa, she would have known as well that she had to make that turn to try and get this wave in that excellent wave. And there was big turns, it was a big wave, no downtime in between turns.
Laps it multiple times on the inside. Here comes the answer back from Italo.
Italo Ferreira starting to load up. It's a wild lip line, but tail high pulls around the rotation. This time he's able to combo it up. It's wedging down the point well. Speed cutting in the pocket. Locks in a little wrapping cutback. Now starting to stall. Open face slowly emerging. Will he get a wedge like Morgan did? Italo can get pretty radical in a small space. Little grab there. Now a low road double up, and he's loading up for just a little punch-out reverse. Attack mode there, and now he's got another gear launching again, only like Italo can do.
Wow.
So Italo looking pretty sharp here.
I like the opening one. It was big and it was high risk. Whenever you do this at the start of the wave, full rotation, and gets those fins re-engaged for that second carve, and then another big open hook with a rebound off the foam, and then some clean work through the inside until he finds that inside corner, and then gets another couple of air revs on the inside too. I will point out, though, he really needs to be careful not to show the judges too much repetition. I mean, we talk about it on the backhand, just going to that same turn all the time. If Italo overdoes it here with the air revs, I think he's in danger of the judges starting to take a little shine off what he's doing. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing. There's only a couple of people on the planet that can actually do this sort of stuff.
Wave behind, Morgan's in position for it. Morgan will notice that Italo went down, and he'll load up. Backside stab, controls it, comes out of the lip, more vertical. Wave, big open face is waiting for him, and he tags it. Nice jam there, keeping his flow down the line. Finds a good part of the wave where it's just wedging down the point. He belts it again with beautiful backhand work. A little wobbly riding out. So he goes down for a moment to get back up because he likes this little end section wedge. There's a little disruption of flow when you got to go prone and then stand back up, but he's done some damage. Quick little whip, loads up again, and he'll just sink, so he really didn't get anything on the inside there. But he definitely capitalized out the back, Jesse. This will be his second scoring ride, Rick.
Yeah, I love this one. Comes around this section, gives him all that speed as he gets high in the pocket, and drifts the fins, and he does it again. The first one had so much impact. The third, more of a carve down, and again, tags the lip through the inside here. Just repetition, but it is strong. All connected, great rail work, very clean rails. Just a little hiccup there as he hit the jet ski wake, but tidies it up.
Thank you, Carissa. Beautiful words and a beautiful dedication to Greg Browning as we watch Italo Ferreira getting feisty on the open face. Man, he's rambunctious when he gets going. Throwing so many different types of maneuvers. His angles are so unique to him on his style and the way that he puts a wave together. He still has a little one-footer left, but he's going to go huge on it. Loading up for a punt, sticks that tail straight up, throws the reverse, and runs out of water on the rocks. Became one of the best in the world. Jesse, what did he do here?
My goodness, went for a crazy air reverser. Just a, what? Two? I didn't even see the second one there as well. So to have done two of those in the most critical part of the wave out the back, to then combo it up into a layback carve, then drift the fins around again. He really is hitting that best gear that we've seen from him this entire event long. We saw Yago do an air in that really critical part of the wave, that full rotation that took him all the way to the best score we've seen this season. Italo's gone out and done two back-to-back straight away, and then came through this inside section and thought, hey, you know what? What's one more going to do? It's definitely better than the